my name is Mr. Arens. I'm a music teacher in New York in the United States, but I'm not near New York City. For me to get to New York City, it would take me about 8 or 9 hours to drive there, or sometimes we can go by plane. So we're quite a ways away from that big urban area that many people think of when they think of New York. I was named the 2024 New York State Teacher of the Year, which was a very exciting opportunity to get to work with a lot of other state teachers of the year from across the United States. We named 54 state teachers of the year across the U.S. And this includes all 50 U.S. states, plus our military teacher of the year who teaches in Belgium right now. And the United States, we also have some territories like Guam, American Samoa, and the Commonwealth of the Mariana Islands, plus the U.S. Virgin Islands. While they're not states, we do recognize them as teachers of the year as well. So during that year, I got to go visit some really exciting places like Google. I got to visit Space Camp where with NASA and visit the White House in the United States, the Capitol, and get a chance to talk to lawmakers, policymakers about things that are impacting our schools and our teachers. So, but today I was so excited to meet up with your teacher and to get to meet you, get to see how things are going for you. And I got some of your questions in advance, so I'm looking forward to answering those too.
Yes, so what a privilege, in fact, to be named as one of the best teachers of your region. That's really a great achievement as far as my knowledge is concerned, because
And
I know.
and the same to you. The same to you. A global teacher finalist is just incredible. I'm just blown away. I'm only talking one country. You're talking the globe.
Yes, thank you so much
My
for.
name is MD Fazullah. I am a seventh grader. Today, I am going to ask a question. Shall I ask, sir?
It's wonderful to meet you.
Thank you, sir. What does being the 2024 New York State Teacher of the Year mean to you, and how has it influenced your teaching journey?
Being the state teacher of the year was a very exciting moment. I teach music and I teach young students, and sometimes it feels like um, my subject gets forgotten about at schools. And it was very exciting for me to have this honor, but it was also very exciting for all of the music teachers in New York to know that somebody who teaches their subject was being recognized too. I got a chance to meet a lot of them through different meetings and conferences and workshops and talk to them about the work that I'm doing to make music a great place a great thing to teach in our schools. Um, as I mentioned just a moment ago, I also got to meet a lot of teachers from across the United States and learn about what school looks like in different parts of our country. Depending on where you live, your schools may be completely different than what I know in New York State. So it's been very exciting to get to see different ways to do maybe the same thing that I am doing in my classroom today, but maybe just here's a new way to think about that problem. Because of all that, I think in the last 2 years, I've gone from being a great teacher to an even better teacher. And just this chance to keep learning is the most exciting thing. I think a thing that makes good teaching great is when your teacher is also a learner. When the teacher gets to be a student, also, I feel like the students get to learn even more. And I've had such a privilege to learn so many amazing things because of my position. So thank you so much for your question, Fazula.
Sir, I am a ninth grader from VZPHS Penmaka. With your permission, may I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Okay. My question is, what innovative strategies do you use to make music engaging and meaningful for your students?
To make music engaging and meaningful to my students, I like to make sure that they love the music that we are making in the classroom. Uh, a big, I don't know, do you take music classes in your schools?
No, no.
No, you don't. Okay, so all students, all young students in New York get a chance to take music classes while they're at school. Once they grow old enough, they can begin to play new instruments. And throughout this whole time, I'm teaching them about music they know and about music that they don't know yet. And it's very exciting to find this space where the students are excited about music they already know, but they're also getting to learn about something they don't know. Some of my groups, maybe like my band, which is we're playing instruments like flute, clarinet, trumpet, saxophone. Lots of these different instruments are playing older music, music that is not maybe so exciting for the kids. But in some of my other groups, one of my other bands, we're playing instruments like guitar and drum set and keyboard. And when we're singing, music that the students know on the radio. And this is really exciting for them because they get to engage in something that they really love a whole lot. And so by making the music meaningful to them because it's something they know, they are really excited to want to engage in that music. Thank you, Akbar, for your question.
I have one more question actually, and some
Yes.
students they may be uh, passionate about music, and maybe they can take music as their career seriously because of your influence. Because
Hmm.
in fact, the reason why I became an English teacher, and it was quite influenced by my English teacher. So definitely, you might produce many English teachers because of your innovative way of teaching. So,
Maybe.
students? I mean, you have produced so far, and what kind of career opportunities are there for music in your region and whole
Yeah.
world?
So there are in Rochester, where I live, the music scene is really, really big. We have one of the world's best music colleges is right here in the city. And it's called the Eastman School of Music. People come here from around the world to study music in our college. Um, so of course we have the excitement of becoming a performer when you grow up. But I tell my students that that's a great dream to have, but it's also kind of a little bit like being a professional athlete. Only one person is going to become that famous. They're only going to become that good if they have a lot of time and a lot of dedication to making sure that they become the absolute best they can be at that thing. So I'm also quite a young teacher. I am 37 years old right now. I have only been teaching since 2013, which means the students that I met when I first started teaching are in college today. So my first students, some of my first students are finishing degrees right now in music technology and music production. They're learning about sound recording technology. They're learning about the music business and the work that has to go into becoming a producer. That was an avenue that I didn't even know or know to think about when I was a new teacher. And now when I do my careers in music units at school, I like to talk about that. We are also the fifth largest district in New York State. We have about 18,000 students who go to school in Rochester. And so we have some specialized high schools, and one of those high schools is a music high school. And students, when they finish with me, in sixth grade, they can move on to seventh grade and they can become really, really, really amazing and phenomenal musicians at this high school when they grow up.
Okay, thank you so much. And now, may I request you to introduce some of the musical instruments of your classroom to my students?
Yes.
In fact, my students are not aware of the music class. In fact, they are completely unknown to this music conditions and the music classroom.
So I'll take you on a little walk.
Please.
So the most of my instruments are here in the back. These are my world drums. Many drums come from Africa that we learn about here in my classroom. I
Mhm.
don't have a lot of African drums, but these drums are they're kind of good for any style of music. They're really easy for the kids to play. Some of the instruments that I have on the wall here, these are ukuleles. And I can hold my arm up to see, you can see the size.
Yes.
They're quite a small instrument, but it's one of the most exciting instruments because I get to start teaching them about that instrument when the students are young, maybe only 7, 8, or 9 years old. We start to learn this instrument.
Mhm.
And they get really, really, really excited about it. They're quite easy to play. They're quite inexpensive for many of our students, so if they want to buy one at home, they can. After they spend some time learning these instruments, then they can start to learn how to play guitar. Because they're both string instruments, the guitar and the ukulele, they both have strings on them. So the skills that we learn when they're young become excellent skills that they can use on these guitars. And this whole setup behind me, you can see I have a drum set for band, and we play music by really famous artists in the United States. People like Justin Timberlake. I don't know if you know these names. Adele and 21 Pilots. Lots of bands that my students really, really like. They get to play that music. What are some other instruments I have? Over here, these instruments are xylophones. I'm going to grab one. We can lay them across the table this way. And using a mallet, we can play. So that's one way that we can, and I can set all these instruments all across my classroom here. Students will sit on the floor and we can play a variety of songs together that we learn. Um, I don't have them with me, but oh, I have a flute. Flutes across the world can look quite different.
If you see Mr. Thompson, they were to
Oh, there's another announcement. Sorry.
say today. Happy birthday, Mr. Thompson. We appreciate you.
And I also have instruments like trumpet. These are some of the instruments that I teach to my students at school. We also just finished a unit where students were making their own instrument out of recycled materials. I have a student here, he was trying to figure out how to make a guitar using different materials that he normally would have thrown away, but we saved them and tried to repurpose them into something new and different.
Okay, and here is my last question. So,
Yes.
when students take music in their classrooms, how do
Yes.
you grade them? How do you evaluate their performance? And do they need to score the minimum marks in the music class in order to get the certification?
Yes, so I'm a performance-based classroom, which means it's sometimes it's up for interpretation, right? The way you hear a song is different than the way I might hear a song, and it's different than the way all the students will hear the same song. So a lot of my students are grading themselves. They are tasked with being able to play a short song on their instrument, and as time progresses, you know, we might spend 3 or 4 months learning 4 or 5 different songs. and then they will record themselves and use a rubric to grade their performance. Does it sound right? Basically, is the question. Um, am I playing with a steady beat? Do my notes sound in tune? Am I playing the rhythms correctly? Am I going too fast or too slow? Am I too loud or too quiet? And all of these questions are meant for the student to think about themselves as a performer. And they're not playing to please me, but they're playing to please themselves.
Before we wind up the session, may I request you to give a message to my students and the teachers as well?
Absolutely. Boys and girls, or all boys today, thank you so much for your time. It was really wonderful to meet each of you. I will make sure to tell all of my students about this morning and getting to meet all of you. Hardy Krishna, it's been amazing to meet you and work with you, and I'm looking forward to more collaboration in the future.